Northern Colorado cities are booming. We're talking about new schools, recreation centers, libraries, bike parks, shopping, dining options, water parks, and all the entertainment you could possibly ask for. If you name it, it's happening right here in Northern Colorado. What's up, beautiful people? My name is Noah, your Northern Colorado real estate and lifestyle expert. And before we dive into the booming real estate markets, make sure to go follow me on Instagram at real.estate.hippie for a behind the scenes look at what life is like right here on the Front Range. You should also shoot me a text message and let me know if you have any questions at 720-741-7474. Now let's get into this video. Northern Colorado is booming, and it's clear to see when you drive around any of the cities. What you're gonna find? You're gonna find new construction projects, new master plan communities, new apartments, and new neighborhoods that are gonna be popping up everywhere. To build a better understanding, let's take a look at the population growth in this region over the past 5 years. These numbers are a clear indicator on why our housing market is an absolute great way to build wealth through appreciation. And then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna break down all the numbers for you later on in this video, so make sure and stay tuned. And I'm gonna start out with one of my favorite little secret towns, and that's the town of Berthoud. And Berthoud has seen a staggering 136% increase in population from 2013 to 2023, making it one of the fastest growing areas in the region. And part of that, why it has such large growth, is because it started out as a super small town right in between Longmont and Loveland, and the town has laid amazing infrastructure for growth. It also has great proximity to the mountains and I-25. And so if this is something that people are looking for, and thus you see the large population explosion. Now, we're still only talking about a town of about 15,000 people. Now, on the other side of Longmont, Erie has actually seen a 9.1% population increase from the end of 2023 to the end of 2024, reflecting rapid development and the appeal of Erie. Now, Erie, again, is a small town, but it's doing big things, and people are taking notice. It has great proximity to Denver, to I-25, and to Boulder, making its location one of the most sought after places right here in Northern Colorado. Now we're gonna hop across I-25 to the east and talk about Frederick and Firestone. They had a 33% population increase since the 2020 census. And Frederick is attracting many new residents seeking the quiet quality of life, still maintaining your access to I-25, to Denver, to Fort Collins, and the mountains. Now, a lot of times I lump Firestone and Frederick together because they're separated literally by a street. But Firestone is going to be no different than Frederick, seeing a 19.2% population growth since 2020, highlighting the popularity among homeowners. And part of this growth is due to the fact that you can get more real estate for your money in these communities because they're just a little bit further from the Rocky Mountains. Now, moving north from Longmont and Berthoud, let's talk about Loveland. And Loveland's seen almost a 6.5% increase in population since 2020. Now, this is just indicating steady growth in this vibrant city. And Loveland attracts people because of its proximity to I-25, its proximity to the beautiful Rocky Mountains, as well as its proximity to Fort Collins. Because a lot of people want to live the Colorado lifestyle. They want to have access to the urban centers, but you might not want to live in one. And Loveland is only about a 15-minute drive from Fort Collins, giving you access to not only Fort Collins, but I-25 to get to Denver, making Loveland one of those sweet spots. Now let's jump in and talk about Longmont. Between 2019 and 2024, the city's population has increased by about 1.5%. 1.5%. Now, you might not think that that's a big deal, but when we're talking about a town of 100 to 120,000 people, a 1.5% increase is definitely going to be felt in the community. Now, once again, people are relocating to Longmont because of its proximity to Boulder, to the Rocky Mountains, to Denver, I-25, and it shares some of the similar things as these other towns that we've talked about. Now, let's talk about Boulder, which is Longmont's unaffectionate big brother. Now, Boulder's population has actually decreased by 3.5% since 2020. Now, this is a shift in residency patterns, and one of the reasons is that you can get way more for your money in Longmont, which is only 15 minutes down Diagonal Highway. You also have Louisville and Superior that are offering more home or nicer properties for the same amount of money as you can get in. So people have just decided that these other areas and other regions, they'd rather buy a 5,000 square foot home for the same money that you would get about a 1,500 square foot home in Boulder, and thus the population is slightly reducing. The population of Boulder is also impacted heavily by CU Boulder, which they have about 50,000 transient people that call Boulder home for a short period of time. And if you're watching this video, maybe you're thinking about joining the 30,000 people who've relocated to the area in the last 5 years, me and my family being one of them. So now we're going to jump in and talk about these areas specifically, and why not, let's start out with Boulder, because everybody knows that it's pricey. What people don't realize is that Boulder real estate has absolutely remained one of the most resilient and in-demand markets in the entire country. The median home prices are hovering about 1.3 million, and despite affordability challenges, people keep buying here. The question is why? And it's actually a three-part answer. It's because of the University of Colorado, because it helps keep the city young and innovative. It's a hub for tech, aerospace, and a bunch of startups. You might also know Google has a headquarters there. Now, when we're talking about lifestyle, you not only get proximity to mountain views, trails, and the population is super active, and it has a complete healthy, conscious vibe. Even during slower markets, Boulder has held its value. And if you're in the long-term equity position, which means you're gonna live in the home for a while, this is one of the strongest plays that you can make in the entire state. Now let's keep on moving. Just northeast of Boulder is the beautiful city of Longmont, and this city is having a serious moment. Over the last 5 years, Longmont has seen a surge in population and 35 to 40% increases in home value. Now that of course is going to depend on what neighborhood you're looking at. Now here's why people love Longmont, is you get the Boulder level views without the Boulder price tag. It also has a strong economy. We're talking about new breweries, tech jobs, and tons of community events. You're also going to see new development on South Main Station, the Sugar Mill area, and out at West Grange, which is one of the closest neighborhoods in proximity to Boulder. And with new bike paths, better schools, and of course the beautiful Lake McIntosh and Union Reservoir, families and remote workers are actually flocking here because of the community feel, the quaint Main Street, and everything Longmont has to offer. Now let's scoot on north and let's talk about one of my favorite spots, which is Berthoud. Now this one is flying under the radar, but it's not going to be for too long. Berthoud has seen some of the highest year-over-year appreciation in northern Colorado, especially when we're talking about new construction. Now, what's driving this boom? You have a small town charm. We're talking about 15,000 people. You've got proximity to Loveland and Longmont, as well as easy access to I-25. Now, you also have massive new investments in neighborhoods like Prairie Star and Huron Lakes. So you get all of this without the chaos of a bigger city. And if you're looking for affordable homes, new builds, and solid appreciation, Berthoud is absolutely gold. This is a perfect time in the video to jot down my number and shoot me a text at 720-741-7474. People are always pleasantly surprised that they can actually call me and I answer the phone, so I can help you in your relocation dreams right here in Northern Colorado. Now let's jump in and talk about Loveland. Now Loveland is kind of a sleeper right here in Northern Colorado. It's got art, culture, mountain views, and one of the most balanced housing markets here in the region. Homes here are still, I would say, responsibly priced considering the area. You're looking at under $600K, but your return on investment is going to be strong, especially if you get in the neighborhoods near Centura or some of the other up and coming neighborhoods and communities on the west side of Loveland. The big drivers for growth in Loveland are the Centura developments that are absolutely expanding like crazy. The new UC Health Hospital, it brought in a lot of new high-paying jobs, and you cannot beat the proximity to be only a short drive to Fort Collins and about an hour and 30 minutes to get to Denver or the Denver International Airport. Now, because of its geographical location, you're close to Fort Collins. You're only about an hour and 20 minutes from Denver if you need to commute, or you just want to experience some of the big city lifestyle without breaking the bank. To be honest with you, Loveland has it all. Now let's move south of Longmont and explore Erie. Now seriously, if you haven't been there lately, you're gonna barely recognize it. It used to be a small coal town, and now it's a hotbed for new construction, master plan communities, and families looking for a little bit more space or peace and quiet. Now, what makes Loveland desirable is, of course, its proximity to Boulder as well as Denver. They have great schools, amazing parks, and there's gonna be a lot of new construction homes that you can get for the same price as a resale home. People love the walkable, newer neighborhoods, and Erie absolutely delivers. Downtown Erie is absolutely awesome. One of my wife's and I's favorite restaurants, the Berthoud, is there. We actually just ate there last week. You're gonna see breweries. You're gonna see outdoor spaces at most of the restaurants. There's ice cream shops, coffee shops, and you can walk absolutely everywhere. And it just kind of helps enhance Erie's small town charm. Now, in some of these neighborhoods, we're actually seeing multiple offers on homes, which tells me that the demand for Erie is strong, even in a shifting interest rate environment. Now, let's wrap this video up by going east of I-25. And again, we're talking about Firestone and Frederick. And these two obviously get lumped together because they're literally separated by a street, but they are absolutely blowing up based on a couple of key factors. Number one is the affordability. As the further east you go from the mountains, you're gonna get more home for your money. And the location absolutely can't be beat, as you are literally right on I-25. And if we're talking about family friendliness, Erie has to be on the top of your list. You can also still find newer homes under $550,000, which in today's market is a definite win. Now, what sets Firestone and Frederick apart from some of the other communities is that these are absolutely growing on a new level. We're talking about new parks, trails, and of course, the good old Colorado neighborhood feel. So if you're looking for entry-level pricing, but you don't want to compromise on any of the quality of life, Firestone and Frederick are going to be top contenders. Northern Colorado is not just growing, it's evolving. And whether you're after the lifestyle or equity growth in your property, or you just want more space for your family, each one of these cities has something particular to offer. And one of the things that I really help people dive into when they're relocating to Colorado is what lifestyle you live or want to live, because each one of these amazing places is gonna offer you something slightly different. But the key here is timing and strategy, and that's where I come in. So if you're thinking about relocating to Northern Colorado, or if you're already here and considering your next move, let's connect for a quick call. All you have to do is shoot me a text or call me at 720-741-7474. I'll help you find the right fit for your budget, your lifestyle, your family, and your goals. Now, if you want to know more about the changes happening in Northern Colorado and why it's not what it used to be, you need to go watch this video right here. Until next time, stay adventurous, my friends. I will see you on the next video.